The man who was in last place at the end of lap 1 comes home to win. And Bottas crosses the line to win the Turkish Grand Prix.
To whom it may concern you.
It's lights out and away we go. Bottas gets away well. He's alongside Lewis Hamilton and he's making good progress. And there back is Daniel Ricciardo losing his front wing going into turn 1. Bottas ahead of Hamilton. Vettel ahead of Leclerc. Verstappen going around the outside. There's carnage in the midfield as the two Ferraris are separated by Max Verstappen in the middle. Behind them comes Romain Grosjean. Behind his teammate Kevin Magnussen. Hulkenberg started well. Daniel Ricciardo has had an absolute shocker in his home Grand Prix. Let's have a little look at his start, riding on board as he tries to make a move past Perez, gets onto the grass, and that I think is where he lost his front wing. It just got a bit too bumpy, and he did very well to keep out of everyone's way going into turn 1.
You can see where the service road is, the grass is quite high. Yeah, he's very unlucky with that because he's barely off the road, is he?
A puff of smoke there from Carlos Sainz going through turn 13, and I think there's a fire at the back of Carlos Sainz's McLaren. He's pulling into the pit lane. There are flames and there's a bit more smoke, and this is the first retirement of the Australian Grand Prix, and it's Carlos Sainz in the McLaren. It's a warm day, but that McLaren and the Renault engine overheating. Romain Grosjean makes his pit stop, and they're all pitting, Martin, a little earlier than the teams have predicted.
Something slow here, isn't it? Something's horribly slow on this pit stop. Left front won't go on, not another pit stop drama for Haas in Australia.
And on board with Grosjean is sending it down the inside is Lando Norris. That time around, Giovinazzi couldn't keep the line that he wanted, and Lando Norris, about 5 laps too late, I'm sure, for his own liking, has finally got past the Alpha. Grosjean goes down the inside into turn 13, manages to get past the Italian in the Alpha. Oh look, here he comes, he's getting closer, Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel. Oh, he almost was alongside the Ferrari, but now gets a really good getaway from turn 2, and he is wheel to wheel with DRS down towards turn 3. Max Verstappen moves up into 3rd place. It was tight, but he's managed to squeeze that Red Bull through and ahead of the Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel down to 4th as they retire from this race. Daniel Ricciardo. And retiring from the race is Romain Grosjean. This time last year, the wheels came off for Haas after their pit stop. That looks like another mechanical failure, another mechanical problem. Grosjean retires from the Australian Grand Prix, actually for the 3rd year in a row. Now, that front right there, Martin.
The left's not on properly. Look,
yeah, the left's not on.
Remember they had a problem putting the front wheel on.
Front suspension's broken.
For Danny Kvyat, he's lost a massive chunk as he went down the inside and went in way too quickly.
Curiously, the front tyres weren't really long. He didn't want to flat spot them, but there we go. So it's the lunge.
So, Valtteri Bottas is going for the fastest lap once again. Max Verstappen holds it at the moment. Pierre Gasly can't get past the Toro Rosso of Danny Kvyat. Crucially, Verstappen is now within DRS range of Lewis Hamilton if he can complete the lap with the pace he's going at the moment. Hulkenberg from Raikkonen, from Lance Stroll, 7th, 8th and 9th, and a really tight epic battle in the midfield and for the lower points places, as well as Bottas does get the new fastest lap, and we set the final lap, start the final lap of this race. He's refreshed himself over the winter after a disappointing end to the campaign. He got 7 second places during the course of 2018, but when he sees the checkered flag, he knows that he's the #1 in Albert Park today. It's Valtteri Bottas who wins the Australian Grand Prix, and he wins it by a distance. Lewis Hamilton battling away with Max Verstappen for second place. That scrap is still going on as they reach the penultimate corner. Sebastian Vettel ahead of Charles Leclerc by around about 5 seconds at the moment, and we'll see Hamilton cross the line as once again from pole position, it's only second for the 4th consecutive year. Hamilton finishes runner-up in Australia, and Max Verstappen for the first time ever will stand on the podium at Albert Park. What a day for Mercedes, what a day for Bottas.
Well done, Valtteri. You won the 2019 Australian Grand Prix. Great job, bravo.
How about that? Yeah! Thank you, guys.
Well, that's payback from last year, Valtteri.
Vettel, Leclerc completing the top 5. Kevin Magnussen, by the way, didn't have any finishes here since 2016. Came home 6th place for Haas ahead of Nico Hülkenberg. Kimi Räikkönen, points for Alfa Romeo. Lance Stroll, points for Racing Point as well from 16th on the grid. And Danny Kvyat holding off Pierre Gasly to finish 10th. But for Mercedes, they were worried going into this race. They genuinely didn't believe that they had the pace after qualifying, but it's kind of borne fruit that on this track in particular, they did tonight. And it's lights out and away we go! And Bottas gets away very nicely indeed. Verstappen alongside Lando Norris. Albon and Hamilton going wheel to wheel as Bottas through turn 1. And Norris goes ahead of Verstappen but off the track. Also off the track goes Charles Leclerc as well. Bottas leads. Verstappen's back in second. Norris behind him. Albon has Lewis Hamilton right alongside him as well. And then there's 3 abreast behind that. Perez and Vettel and also Carlos Sainz as into turn 3 we go. And Norris pressurising Verstappen but having to stay behind.
Norris then, he tried to go around the outside. Verstappen was not leaving him any space, but look, he's got a great slipstream. No DRS, no drag reduction system for the first 2 laps, of course. And it's getting very close. Lewis really struggling in the back of the pack there. And Lewis then with DRS, he's going to be in great shape when it comes to the braking zone of turn 4. He might even be in 3rd place, and he is.
It didn't even need the braking zone of turn 4. DRS helping him blast past. Verstappen going slowly, and has he lost power? And he's desperately trying to get power back into that Red Bull. And he's urging it along and moving around in his seat, but is this Verstappen out of the race?
I keep saying I can't change it.
Okay, stand by, Max, we're looking.
I keep getting out to stall.
Carlos Sainz on Charles Leclerc. The McLaren might have better speed coming up towards turn 3. They're going wheel to wheel. Leclerc's on the inside. Carlos Sainz will be his teammate next year and crashes into Sebastian Vettel this year. Sebastian Vettel spun round by the man who's replacing him at Ferrari.
Yeah, and Leclerc and Sainz teammates next year. I'm sorry, but Sebastian Vettel put his nose into a place it should not be.
On Friday, Perez was the 2nd fastest driver as he breezes past Lando Norris there. Before they get to turn 4, Sergio Perez has put the Racing Point up into 4th place. He was the 2nd fastest driver on the medium tyres. What has happened here to the Williams? Russell was having a very nice race indeed, going along in 12th place. And this is more mechanical issues. Safety car is coming out. Whoa, this is not what Mercedes wanted.
Do not miss this last 20 laps.
So Alex Albon, who has pitted for a set of tyres, the soft compound tyre. Alex Albon is one to watch now at the restart, isn't he? Valtteri Bottas leads as we cross the line and the green flags wave once more from Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez and Alex Albon racing him towards turn 1. Then comes Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc right behind him. Behind Leclerc comes Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. They didn't pit. Ocon didn't pit in 8th. And going wide there was Antonio Giovinazzi. Sainz did pit. He's 9th. Giovinazzi was 10th. Might lose a place to Kvyat. As into turn 3 we go. Lock up there from Perez. Albon goes down the inside. There's a safety car on the track, but not at this moment, and they all slow down. Oh, and that's why Kimi Räikkönen's had a massive crash down the main straight. Right, so we're running on board with Sebastian Vettel. It's already off.
It's broken already.
The tyre actually came off the wheel.
Yeah, well, the tether didn't work because it's not a suspension problem. The wheels just plain fell. Where did that tyre go to?
Albon's got a slipstream on Lewis Hamilton. He might be in a chance here of overtaking, going into turn 3. He's going to have to go the long way round. Perez is having to defend from Lando Norris as well. Great exit from Alexander Albon. He's got the soft compound tyre on. You would expect that. The hard tyre is on the Mercedes. Albon is all over the back of Hamilton, who once again forces in the long way round. Norris goes the long way round on Perez.
No,
and Albon again, no, with Lewis Hamilton. He's lost out once more, as it was in Brazil. He comes off second best. Hamilton forced Albon all the way round the outside.
This guy is such a solid.
The DRS is helping Sainz, it's helping Leclerc as well. Leclerc moves ahead of Carlos Sainz. Sainz is going to fight this one out, locks up on the inside. They don't touch. Leclerc moves around the outside, gets a bit twitchy on the exit of the corner, but moves into 4th place. Here goes Charles Leclerc down the inside on Sergio Perez. God, that was late. That was brilliant. Charles Leclerc into the podium places as Lewis Hamilton is given a 5-second penalty for causing a collision with Alex Albon. And if we're live on board here, that is Norris and Perez. And Norris has managed to get past Sergio Perez, and it was a bit bumpy going into turn 3, but he's managed to do it, and Perez is tumbling down the order. Bottas leads, Hamilton second on the road, but he gets a 5-second penalty. Then Leclerc, Norris and Perez, who also gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Lewis is coming back at Bottas now.
Oh no, and Daniel Kvyat's out of the race. And Daniel Kvyat is out of the race and out of harm's way as well. That's a rear wheel. The tyre shredded? Disintegrated?
That's about curb. That's about running curbs, unless he was quite close to the Ferrari.
Well, I just wonder if Mercedes want to let Hamilton get past Bottas, give him clear air ahead, and just go and extend your advantage. At the moment, they've got about 6-7 tenths in hand on Lando Norris, who could finish on the podium yet, because Hamilton's going to take a 5-second penalty, but that's what they've got to watch for, Mercedes.
Yeah.
71 laps out of 71 here. Chaos and carnage at times, but Valtteri Bottas wins the season opener here in Austria. It is a Mercedes 1-2 on the road, but Hamilton will not keep second place. He gets a 5-second penalty. Charles Leclerc, after a miserable weekend so far for Ferrari, gets on the podium, and Lando Norris gets on the podium for the first time in Formula One because of Lewis Hamilton's penalty, and by a tenth of a second, Lando Norris is a podium sitter. McLaren are on the podium, and what a start to the season this has been. I don't know about you, Martin Brundle, but I've really enjoyed those 71 laps. Should we do it again next week?
Yeah, let's do it exactly again next week. It's not often I get so engrossed in a race I didn't even notice it was the last lap.
All good things come to those who wait, I said a while ago. Well, in terms of racing entertainment, the Austrian Grand Prix today, that was a very good thing indeed. It's lights out and away we go. Russell does get away well, as does Max Verstappen, and Valtteri Bottas has got his teammate right alongside him already. Sergio Perez is trying to challenge as George Russell goes into the first turn, and George Russell takes the lead of the Sakhir Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas is second and gets all out of shape coming out of turn 2. That's going to give Perez and Verstappen all the impetus they need, as it's 3 cars going wheel to wheel. There's a spin right at the back. Could be Kimi Räikkönen in the Alfa Romeo. Lock up there as Perez is caught by Charles Leclerc, and there's 3 cars gone off at turn 4, and we've already got high drama here on the opening lap, and it's Max Verstappen, who was the third of those cars. He is out of the race on the first lap.
George Russell taking the lead, and 2 really fancied runners this evening in the barriers together there. Well, that's really taken the sting out of an element of this race, hasn't it?
And Sergio Perez all the way down in 18th place. Leclerc caught Perez. We saw the Racing Point getting all out of shape.
So Max seems under control and then gets on the skittles, and he's straight in the barrier. Wow. Perez then makes a pit stop.
lap 7 of this Sakhir Grand Prix, and it's George Russell then leading the way from Bottas, from Sainz, and Sainz looks to have got a very nice safety car restart, and he's putting Bottas under all sorts of pressure going into turn 1. It's side by side, McLaren and Mercedes. Inside line goes to Sainz, and Carlos Sainz takes second place, but has to go off the track in doing so. That allows Valtteri Bottas to reclaim that second place. George Russell already flying out in front. Ricciardo is currently 4th from Fiat, and then comes Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, Sebastian Vettel and Lando Norris. What a duel that was, Sainz and Bottas. Alex Albon is right on the back now of Lando Norris, and he might be sizing up a move to go round the outside and then pinch the inside line at turn 5. Norris tries to cover it off. Alex Albon, that is what he can do in Formula 1. Swoops past Lando Norris, and Sergio Perez then gets Norris as well, using all his years of experience to pick up the scraps after Norris had been overtaken by the Red Bull.
That puts Perez into the World Championship points already.
Oh, here comes Sergio Perez again. He got past Lando Norris on the last lap, fancies Alex Albon on this particular lap. You wouldn't think there's much space there, but Perez manages to squeeze a Formula 1 car through it. Well done, Alex Albon, for leaving just enough room, making it difficult, but Perez is past. There is Nicholas Latifi by the side of the track, so that's the exit of turn 8. Here we go, virtual safety car.
Yeah, there it is.
Virtual safety cars ended. Carlos Sainz has come in for a pit stop. And I tell you who it has helped, Sergio Perez make places up as well. He's on the hard tyre. He's going to the end on those hard tyres. He's going to try and get past his teammate if he can. Lock up there by Lance Stroll. And that will certainly help Sergio Perez gets past. And the Racing Points swap places. Sergio Perez goes up into 4th place. Here comes Sergio Perez on Esteban Ocon. He overtook his teammate on the last lap. He's got DRS to help him breeze past Esteban Ocon here. Sergio Perez, for the 2nd week in a row here in Bahrain, is running in the podium places. There's a front wing lost by Jack Aitken.
We're going to need a safety car then to clear that away, I think.
Oh, Jack, don't get out there. Safety car's been deployed.
Yeah, they have to. I can't see a gap. I can't see a gap in the way the cars are distributed around the track. And they're stacked up.
They're double stacking at Mercedes. The front right tyre was slow for George Russell. And for Valtteri Bottas, even more confusion for a crew that are normally very,
they're not
very
happy
adept.
with the left front. They're not happy with his left front.
Well, they double stack. They've reacted really, really quickly, Mercedes, and this is costing Bottas. Oh, his brakes are on fire now as well. They had the wrong compound of tyre on, and that's why they couldn't send him out again. But now those brakes are overheating. He has lost track position to Sergio Perez. He's gone from 2nd to 5th while all that was happening.
Okay, George, we're going to need to box. We have a mixed tyre set on the car.
Basically, what's happened is they've got some of Bottas's tyres on, or indeed all of Bottas's tyres on.
As now we go racing once more. Sergio Perez leads the Sakhir Grand Prix from Esteban Ocon. They're having a terrific race tonight. Lance Stroll's in 3rd. Valtteri Bottas down the inside. George Russell right behind him. Alex Albon's making a move. You can see the sparks flying, and Alex Albon almost goes into the back of Pierre Gasly, but manages to avoid him and take 9th place as well. And Valtteri Bottas goes a little bit wider through turn 4. Russell's now going to have a go at him on this twisty section of the track, the middle section. He's got the inside line at turn 7, and he goes past his teammate. George Russell overtakes Valtteri Bottas. That was committed, it was brave, it was brilliant. Mercedes power against Mercedes power. He's trying to break the toe, Lance Stroll. George Russell's made up his mind to go down the inside, late on the brakes, into turn 1. Enough room for Russell to squeeze past and back up into the top 3 once again. Look how George Russell has closed up that gap to Esteban Ocon. All the while, Sergio Perez having it his own way out in front. He's got the inside line, George Russell into turn 4. That was an easier move on Esteban Ocon. Now can Perez hold on? Valtteri Bottas is under pressure from Carlos Sainz. Those tyres that are a little bit too old for Valtteri Bottas' liking have cost him again as Carlos Sainz moves up into 5th place. Sainz, who lost places when he pitted at the end of the virtual safety car and the track went green. Sainz lost places. He's making the place back up again now. And Daniel Ricciardo too, because Ricciardo goes past Bottas into the last corner, up into 6th. And now Alex Albon fancies having a go at Valtteri Bottas, and those tyres are just falling away from him. Bottas has got DRS, but he can't defend, or can he? Because there's a drag race down the straight, and the Mercedes power unit is really helping, but under braking, Albon goes through.
Looks like a rear left puncture.
That's George Russell's chance of a podium absolutely gone now.
We've been denied a thrilling last few laps as well, haven't we?
The man who was in last place at the end of lap 1 comes home to win the Sakhir Grand Prix. Sergio Perez, wow, what a race for him and for Racing Point. Esteban Ocon take a bow, his first podium in Formula 1, and it's the first ever double podium for Racing Point, as well as Lance Stroll takes 3rd place.
I'm speechless, guys. Good job, guys.
It was Racing Points who took 40 points from this race and strengthened their grip at 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship. But for that man, it's Magnifico, it's Sergio, and the O has gone tonight. He's finally a race winner. It's lights out and away we go. Bottas in the 2nd phase looked to stutter a little bit, but Verstappen is not coming alongside him. It's Bottas that leads from Verstappen, and then, comes Sir Charles Leclerc, and that's a spin for Fernando Alonso at turn 1, and he's lost plenty of places, comes back in about 15th place. Not the start that Alonso would have wanted.
Oh, so disappointing for him. The guy that's always so strong at the starts. There's Lewis trying to get past Sebastian Vettel. Oh, it's disappointing for Fernando, but as they go through turn 6, 7, Lewis keeping out of trouble.
And on the outside, first off, of Esteban Ocon, and getting past Esteban Ocon, Hamilton is in a 10th place at the moment, ahead of Ocon in 11th. Pierre Gasly is in for a 5-second time penalty. I don't know about you, Jensen. I think that was a bit harsh.
Yeah, it's always tricky when there's 3 of you into turn 1, and the circuit really does narrow there.
Carlos Sainz is going for it with George Russell, and they're going to wheel around turn 13, and it's Sainz in the Ferrari that puts himself ahead of George Russell.
I think the biggest issue is that they have so much grip on the corner exits, they're not getting wheel spin.
Now here he goes, round the outside. Don't do it in a braking zone, do it round the outside. At turn 3, Lewis Hamilton has managed to clear the young AlphaTauri driver, and he's put himself up into 7th, and he can now start to charge after Lance Stroll and the Aston Martin. This is the traditional spot for overtaking at Istanbul Park.
It seems like it's 1 a lap for Carlos Sainz. Great job by him.
There's still light drizzle, turn 8, turn 9, 10, 11.
Sainz goes down the inside on Sebastian Vettel, and I wonder, was there contact between the Ferrari and the Aston Martin?
Oh, and a little bit of contact there. Hopefully no damage.
Okay, drive straight into me then.
Well, this should be one of the more easier overtakes he'll have to make all afternoon.
Yeah, it should be, but he's running such a big rear wing on the Mercedes. But down the outside should be a nice, easy move here. He can pick his braking point. Look at that.
Perez seems to have that straight line speed advantage over Hamilton. Hamilton, though, close enough now to be picking up the slipstream of the Red Bull in front, and Hamilton gaining as the wheels turn round, and now goes wheel to wheel with Sergio Perez. And does he pass Sergio Perez? Under braking, he gives the Red Bull a wide berth just in case. He knows that he can make this move stick in the next few corners. He pushes Sergio Perez almost into the pit lane entry. Perez is not going to give this one up without a fight, and they are almost level pegging as they start the next lap. Hamilton's got better acceleration as down towards turn 1 we go. Has Hamilton got up into 4th place? No, he's not. Sergio Perez on the inside regains the place that he might have lost by millimetres a few hundred metres before.
Lando Norris pitted just a lap ago, and as the Red Bull guys get to work, that's perfect. Oh, that is sweet, isn't it, Crofty? That's absolutely brilliant stop.
Out of the pit lane comes Sebastian Vettel, and I just had to check myself there. He's on the slick tyre. He's put the medium compound tyre on as Bottas, the race leader, changes for the intermediates.
Perez comes in for his pit stop, pushes Hamilton ahead of Sergio Perez. This is a gamble that I'm sure the driver was part of.
No, it's not working.
But as I was going to say, not working.
It's really not working. He's kind of a danger on the track now. Look at the difference in speed. It's massive.
Can I stay with this set until the end of the race?
Yes, you can stay until the end with this set.
I've just realised here, chaps, don't want to put the mockers on it, but I've just realised if I stay with this set, we might win this, you know.
Box, 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 box.
Why?
New inset is the way to go. We're under threat from
I don't think it is, man.
Yeah, it's a tricky one now. I personally think he has to stay out until he seriously loses time to Max, because finishing just behind Max is much better than finishing just inside the top 10.
I'm not sure stopping now for Charles Leclerc is a good idea, but if the track dries up, Jensen, stopping in a moment might be a good idea for slick tyres. Either way, he's got to try and defend. Valtteri Bottas is on the inside. Leclerc just makes way, I think, there. Doesn't fight that. Valtteri Bottas retakes the lead of this Turkish Grand Prix. He's back out in front. Hamilton's coming in for a pit stop. Leclerc goes through, Perez goes through. I'm watching Gasly coming down the main straight now as Hamilton gets to the end of the pit lane, 80 kilometres an hour. Now he can get his foot down. Now he can get onto the racetrack and ahead then of Pierre Gasly, but down in 5th place. Don't go anywhere. This is building to a grandstand finish, and it's almost like he's going off-roading Charles Leclerc as he slides his way through turn 9 and 10. We're on board with Sergio Perez. Has Leclerc got any way of maintaining his position against the Red Bull of Perez? Under braking, Perez a bit later manages to squeeze past. Inside line now goes to Charles Leclerc. Perez has got the inside line for the next corner, but this will then carry on down the main straight too. As Perez exits the final corner, he's got a decent gap between himself and Charles Leclerc. Perez is up into the podium places. Leclerc will try and fight it, but he's fighting with one hand behind his back.
So Gasly at 3 behind. 3 behind.
Man, why'd you give up that space?
It looks like we were going to lose the position anyway.
From pole position, Valtteri Bottas can now make it to the final corner to see the checkered flag, and Bottas crosses the line to win the Turkish Grand Prix. It has been a commanding performance, and that will give him a huge cheer as he leaves Mercedes at the end of this season and heads off to Alfa Romeo. Behind him though, Max Verstappen comes home to finish second where he started in this race, and that race will do nicely for Verstappen as he increases his championship lead over Lewis Hamilton. It's a double podium for Red Bull. Sergio Perez with some great defending against Lewis Hamilton and making the right stop at the right time, comes home to take 3rd place. It's a 6-point lead in the Drivers' Championship. Verstappen is back in front once again at the 4th change of lead in the last 6 Grand Prix. All to play for still, 6 races to go. We head to Austin next, but here in Turkey this weekend, Bottas is back and winning. 5 lights on ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go. And Leclerc gets away well ahead of Hamilton and Verstappen. And then you've got Sainz and Gasly scrapping away behind them. But it's Charles Leclerc with a clear lead going through turn 1. He's got the start, he's got the pole, and he's got away from Lewis Hamilton. And they're looking up. Sainz, Gasly ahead. Sergio Perez making up places as well. The 2 McLarens getting bogged down in the midfield. And the charge is on now, down towards turn 3. Charles Leclerc leads the Azerbaijan Grand Prix from Hamilton, and then comes Verstappen and Sergio Perez ahead of Gasly, but only just. The 2 going through into turn 3, separated by inches and making it. The Ferrari of Charles Leclerc has Lewis Hamilton right behind him, and Leclerc's been leading throughout this race, but not for long, because Hamilton's got the toe, he's got the slipstream, he doesn't need DRS, and he makes the pass to take the lead of this race. Leclerc's going to try and fight him back, going into turn 1, but it's Hamilton now ahead of Leclerc with Verstappen in 3rd. We're watching Yuki Tsunoda in 8th as well, and we're watching Charles Leclerc under massive pressure from Max Verstappen. He's had to wait a few laps to get past the Ferrari. It's happened now at the beginning of lap 7. Hamilton leads, Verstappen is now 2nd and chasing after the Mercedes. Leclerc down to 3rd, and there's Yuki Tsunoda. Is he going to get past Fernando Alonso going into turn 1? Do you know what? Yes, he is.
Look at Sergio Perez, straight there for protection. This is exactly what Red Bull need, isn't it? Up to third place. What a drive so far.
In the space of a single lap, Charles Leclerc is now out of the podium places.
What's happened in Sector 2? We've got a yellow flag.
That will attract the attention of the strategy engineers on the pit wall, and it is a Ferrari of Carlos Sainz who's gone off into the runoff area. Hamilton comes in, Verstappen and Perez stay out. Hamilton, it's a slow stop again, but he had to wait for the other car that was coming down the pit lane. We've not seen drivers have problems here, but on the hard tyre, he locks up and has to bail out.
Sorry guys.
And he's boxing. Ted, down to you.
Yeah, I can see it just a couple of garages down. Let's have a look. Yeah, going well so far. That's not the 1.8 I've seen, but what was it, about the 2-second mark? Very, very solid. White tyres on, hard
I tell you what, Ted, Max Verstappen is away and he is going to be ahead of Lewis Hamilton. That's the crucial thing here. Hamilton's slow stop has cost him track position after the pit stop to Max Verstappen. Hard compound tyre for Sergio Perez. There was a problem at the rear. We'll get Ted Kravitz's thoughts on that in a moment. 4.3 second stop for Perez. That's undone all his good work as you see Max Verstappen going into turn 1. Where's Hamilton now? Coming through turn 1. Sergio Perez comes out in second place, still ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen is ahead. Sergio Perez behind his teammate. Hamilton behind now, both Red Bulls. Oh no, and that is an accident, and it is Lance Stroll. And Lance Stroll, who might well have been coming into the pits, has left a huge amount of debris on the track. He's moving around in the cockpit. That's great to see. What happened to Lance Stroll? And yeah, absolutely no chance of avoiding the accidents. I said potentially coming into the pits. Oh, that's an impact, isn't it? We are going to get racing here in Baku, and now Verstappen's gone, and Lewis Hamilton has got a really nice tow behind Sergio Perez. Pierre Gasly locks up. Charles Leclerc could get interested here. Sebastian Vettel down the inside of Charles Leclerc, gets past the Ferrari. Sergio Perez is under pressure from Lewis Hamilton. There's a huge lock up by Charles Leclerc. He almost goes into the back of Sebastian Vettel. Somehow the Aston Martin doesn't make contact. Now Sebastian Vettel's looking to have a go at Pierre Gasly as well, as Hamilton is trying to make a move on Sergio Perez. Perez goes through second. Gasly goes ahead, stays ahead, I should say, of Sebastian Vettel. High drama at the restart there, and Charles Leclerc very nearly coming a cropper.
Sebastian Vettel getting a nice one off Pierre Gasly. He's going to get it done.
He's got the tow, he's got the fresher tyres, he's got the pace. Sebastian Vettel's got 4th place here in Baku. He loves this track, started in the top 4 in every season that he's come to Baku before. He's finished 3rd, he's finished 4th, he's finished 4th, he's finished 2nd, and guess what? In 2021, he's 4th again. It can go right down to the checkered flag, and look at, and that's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen on the main straight, leading this race, now out of this race. Sergio Perez leads from Lewis Hamilton. That is a 200-mile-an-hour crash for Max Verstappen, and that is also Red Bull's first 1-2 in many a long year, taken out of them as well. And the red flag has now come out. The race is now going to stop. Brakes smoking on Lewis Hamilton's car. Perez on pole, Hamilton alongside him on the front row. Perez gets away well, Hamilton will wheel spin. Sebastian Vettel is coming at them as well. Perez tries to cut off Hamilton, who locks up and goes straight on. Perez leads from Sebastian Vettel, and then comes Pierre Gasly and Charles Leclerc, and Hamilton has gone from second in the race to falling out of the points as they tiptoe their way around turn 2. We lost the championship leader with a crash. We lost his main rival with a lock-up at the restart. This has not been a good day for the top 2 in the championship. Under pressure now, Pierre Gasly's got Charles Leclerc right behind him. Looks like Charles Leclerc is ahead of Pierre Gasly. Leclerc goes back up into the podium places. He started on pole, he may yet finish on the podium. Gasly's going to come back at him again though. The AlphaTauri goes a bit deep and gets past Charles Leclerc. Out in front, Perez from Vettel. This scrap's still going on. Behind them, Lando Norris waiting to pick up the scraps here. But Lewis Hamilton, 54 point scoring finishes in a row, and he He fails to score points today as down the inside goes Gasly. Stays ahead of Leclerc. For one brief moment, Lando Norris thought he had a chance. Gasly cuts him off aggressively going through turn 4. Sergio Perez moved teams over the winter, went to Red Bull in his 6th race for his new team. Sergio Perez wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel moved teams. He picks up his first podium for Aston Martin and their first podium in Formula 1. Pierre Gasly's back on the podium too for AlphaTauri as he comes home 3rd. What a Baku race it was. What an Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Perez picks up the points. Verstappen and Hamilton, the championship contenders, both fail to finish. It's Baku to the drawing board for them. It's celebrations for Perez tonight.
And Formula 1 is underway on the streets of Baku. Good reaction time for Verstappen, but it's Charles Leclerc who maintains the lead into turn 1. The top 3 are as they were going through. Sainz is in 4th. Hamilton is vulnerable to Fernando Alonso diving to the inside, but Hamilton chops across. Lost momentum for Alonso means he's vulnerable now, and there's a tap there between a Williams. I think that was Oscar Piastri getting hit as he went through. He was side by side, dropping back, losing positions at the start. He's lost one. It's as you were in the top 5 though.
I think it was Albon nibbling a bit of Piastri further down on the edge of the top 10.
Is there going to be any opportunity for Charles Leclerc, who's checking the mirrors early? He knows the threat is close. Will he be able to offer a defence? Is it the moment for Max Verstappen to use the slipstream to power alongside and take the lead? It looks like it might be, and say goodbye to Max Verstappen in 2nd place, because that's the race lead for the world champion, breezing on by, and Verstappen takes 1st place in the race. And we are waiting to see Perez use the efficiency. The barn door opens and Perez takes a dart to the inside. Charles Leclerc knows he can't fight it with defence on the way in. It's a Red Bull 1-2 as Perez takes 2nd. And Hamilton pits. He doesn't fancy a wheel-to-wheel with Fernando Alonso, and he pits to get rid of the tyres.
Yeah, and they're all going to have to start pitting as well with others that have jumped in early. Albon, now Norris is covering off his teammate and Yuki Tsunoda, so it's going to trigger this round of pit stops, maybe put us towards a 2-stop Grand Prix as well, depending on how this hard holds out.
Baseline is...
Yeah, but I'm sliding.
Understood.
Now this could bring out the virtual safety car. Nick de Vries has gone deep, and that is why we have the yellow flag. Verstappen being told to come into the pits, and Perez will assume the lead at a circuit he adores.
So de Vries is off at turn 6. He sounded like he had the engine going, but if there's suddenly a safety car or a VSE, Max has pitted at a very bad moment here because everyone else will save 9 seconds on a pit stop. Early stop for Verstappen, who was getting through his tyres just too quickly. Safety car's called.
Full safety car is out, and that is a massive advantage. Then they'll have to respect the delta that they now get. That is Nick de Vries clipping the apex wall and damaging the front left.
Yeah, so it is just a bit greedy on the apex of the left-hander, and it is a driver error then for de Vries. I was wondering how on earth you end up in this position, but he couldn't turn the car to the right.
It's Perez and Leclerc getting the benefit of pitting under the safety car, and they find themselves ahead of Max Verstappen.
Leclerc looking racy behind him. Now Perez goes.
And we are back racing in Azerbaijan. Charles Leclerc, does he get a run to the inside? Will he take the opportunity? Perez feeling the need to defend. He's on cold tyres, remember. There's an opportunity for Max Verstappen as they make their way through. Will they all make the corner? Cold tyres, cold brakes, they will. And it's the top 3 as they were. That's a late lunge to the inside for the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll, who gets the place back that he lost in the pit stop. But this is Max Verstappen darting out of the slipstream, trying to immediately take the Ferrari back. Can he do it? This time he does it without DRS. Big move for Max Verstappen's Grand Prix.
Yeah, he needed that. Needed to clear the Ferrari, and now he can go and chase after Perez. Alonso on the inside of Sainz. That's opportunistic. Brilliant from Alonso.
Phenomenal move for 4th position for Fernando Alonso.
On board, here we go with Fernando Alonso. So Sainz is looking good. Gets a little bit boxed in behind his teammate. Alonso just says, wow, if you don't want the inside, I'll take it. And sticks it in there. Late on the brakes, committed. Brilliant from Alonso.
Sainz trying to respond, and further back, that's a dive to the inside, and a tidy move for Lewis Hamilton, who gets past his teammate. This is Lance Stroll, and he is getting tight to the wall, very tight to the wall.
The wall, quick tire.
I'm sure you'll all notice that's the same part as Nick de Vries hit, and ended up parked on those skid marks there down towards turn 6, which is why we had the safety car.
This is on board with Kevin Magnussen, trying to fight his way through, and great driver's eye view of a move that takes him up the order, and he just hangs onto it for a second before losing the place again.
Heart in mouth for K-Mac.
1.5 seconds. Oh, very nearly over the road, all over the road for Stroll, who's checking the mirrors. He very nearly clipped the barrier. He did clip the barrier a few moments ago, and he's invited Lewis Hamilton to tuck up in the slipstream and to shape for the pass. Stroll, who put a good move on earlier on, one Mercedes, is about to be passed by the other, as the similar power unit for the two of them, but it's DRS for Hamilton, and the mistake at 16 opens the door. Hamilton feeling the need to jump across and defend the place. He's up to 6th. This is turn 15. He turns in, and he would have been heart in mouth for a second there.
Does he brush it? Does he brush it? Well, he does.
Indeed.
He does with the right rear. A little bit of give in the Tech Pro, and he needed it.
Further back down the order, selling the dummy and making his way through. That is a fine move on the attack for Pierre Gasly, and it's only for 18th, but it's the best moment of his weekend so far.
What happened at 15? Copy.
Oh my days, that's your race leader, and he's hit the wall at 15. He is pushing.
He's got him. Lando Norris finally fights away by.
Here we go on board then. He's not having to defend. He made a mistake on the braking here. There's a bit of a lock-up. Now he's wide, and yeah, he's just tightened the second part of it. You're absolutely right, and then can't get out the corner. The man in the McLaren comes straight through on the inside.
It has been a phenomenal performance from Sergio Perez. The Street Fighter's done it again. Sergio Perez wins in Azerbaijan to take his 6th career victory, to beat his teammate. Max Verstappen takes the fastest lap on the last tour, but it's Perez's day in Baku. He's the first repeat winner at this venue, and despite all of Fernando Alonso's efforts, it's Charles Leclerc who's going to beat him to the rostrum. For the first time this season, Ferrari on the podium with Charles Leclerc. George Russell put the soft tyres on, completes all 3 sectors at the end, takes the checkered flag and looks for the fastest lap. He comes across the line and he's got it.
King of the streets.
Well done, guys. We dominated this weekend. Well done, guys. Well done.
It's another glorious day in the motor racing history of Red Bull. They are sweeping the races. 2 wins so far for Verstappen, 2 wins now for Perez, and just 6 points in the World Championship battle.